페더웨이 가든 레스토랑, 산초, 더덕잎, 부추, 오이, 민들레, 미나리 등 싱싱한 야채가 가득한 유기농 건강 쌈밥, 더운 날씨에 영양을 뜸 시원한 콩국수, 부드러운 맛 물만두를 게시했습니다. 우럭찜, 오삼불고기, 효소 가득 된장찌개, 깔끔한 밑반찬, 온 가족이 함께 또 친구와 찾는 페더웨이 312가 941-2483 가든 레스토랑.
제2인슬리 주지사가 28일 수요일 오후 바쁜 시간을 아래 다운타운 주지사 사무실에서 워싱턴주 한인 동포사회에서 궁금해하는 케네스 배시의 송환에 대해서와 정상기 변호사의 판사 임명, FDA 재결 후 변화에 등에 대해 코엠티비와의 짧은 인터뷰 시간을 가졌습니다. 제2인슬리 주지사와의 인터뷰입니다.
Well, yes. First off, I can express the empathy and concern of the state of Washington for Mr. Bay and his family. He's part of Washington State, and so it's like having a family member in a difficult situation. And so first I can make sure that people understand that we care for this family and are going to do everything we can do to help in that regard. Second, we've conveyed in very strong terms the desire for the federal government to act in any way possible to try to free him. We've talked to Ambassador King, who's been responsible for this relationship, and for some period of time we had some hope that that was going to, a visit by him to North Korea would bear fruit. Unfortunately, that has not happened to date. Third, we can, any way we can, by the state of Washington, talk to any officials who might be interested to let them know about our concern. I just talked to the South Korean consular, Mr. Moon, to convey our interest in this subject. That's what the state of Washington can do, so we're doing all we can do because it is very important for him to return to his family, and I know that their hearts are rent by this, so we're going to do everything we can. So we're very excited by Mr. Chung's willingness to step up and be a Superior Court judge in King County. It's great to see people who have such talent, such intellect, such good legal ability who are willing to go on the bench and being a public servant. So this is great for the Korean American community, but it's good for the whole state of Washington because he's a person who obviously has such a high intellect. He has a recognition of the importance of diversity in this particular community and others. And I think that's important to have on the bench. And he's well respected as a lawyer. I'm an old practicing lawyer for several decades, and I respect good lawyers. And he's a good lawyer who's done some really good work and understands how to handle a courtroom. He's a person who's been in a courtroom, and he understands what it takes to be a fair judge. So for all those reasons, I'm very excited that we have a new great judge coming up, and I'm glad I could help. Well, we've had some doors open, but they're not as open as we would like. There are some remaining friction or things that we've got to get resolved on several of the products from Washington State that we want South Koreans to be able to enjoy. Potatoes, for instance, some of our potato products, processed products. So we've done the first half, which has opened the door, but it needs to swing wider if we're really going to enjoy the economic benefits, both in South Korea and in Washington. I'm very bullish, very hopeful, very optimistic about continuing to expand our sales to South Korea. We know we have great products, we have great services, we have a trade agreement that should allow their access, but it's like a lot of things in life, things don't maybe happen as quickly as you might want, but we've got to keep up this effort. If we do that, we're going to create more jobs here, and South Koreans are going to have better products at a better price. That's what we're going to make sure happens. I didn't get to say 안녕 하세요. I can't say 감사합니다. I can thank you to say thank you to the community. I guess what I would say is that we are so appreciative of this community that are building the economy of the state of Washington. There are so many businessmen, small and large, who are leading the economic recovery in the state of Washington. These are men and women who've started businesses, who've grown businesses, who are dedicated to creating jobs for other Washingtonians, not just Korean Americans, but all Washingtonians. So we want to say thank you to this community for helping our state grow. It's very important.
약 15분간의 인터뷰에 임한 제이 인슬리 주지사는 인터뷰에 앞서 문덕구 총영사를 만나 동포사회의 지원과 비즈니스 증진 등 상호 관심사에 관한 의견을 나누는 시간을 가졌습니다.